Hey, we're live. Well, it's great to be back. Actually, I had a really nice break. We went to the sea. Haven't been. I've only had one little holiday since the pandemic. Kind of seeing family didn't count quite in the same way. Stephen, hello, lovely to have you here. Thank you for joining us. So I actually went to Brighton by the sea. It was so lovely to see the sea. A bit colder now, but it's been quite mild. So it was really good to get away, just recharge a bit. Half term, it's been so that nice little break between busy times. Hi, Mani, thanks for joining us. So back to it. I guess the next break won't be until it gets to actual Christmas time, which is strangely not too far off. But I'm still wanting to just think about autumn. So we'll slowly get there, and I think it'll be the chance once we get towards Govind. Oh, lovely to have you here. Welcome in India. Lovely to have you. I'm thinking of your lovely scene there as well. Penny, and thank you for your message, Penny, as well. Very much appreciated. Yeah. So back to it. And I'm thinking of lots of stars. I think honey, fantastic. Oh, it's great to have you here. I feel like there's this lovely group of us. So nice. I so agree, honey. It really is important to get away and have a break. I hope you've all been recharging where you can before it gets a little bit dark. But when it gets a little bit dark, it's time to get really cozy, and origami is just fantastic for that. So you can make lovely decorations, transform your home, make special little things you can send to others. It's a really easy, cheap way of cheering anyone up. Most of all, it's just showing your care. Adrienne, welcome. Are you in New York? Is that right? Are we crossing the world with India and the UK and America? Maybe. So this week I'd actually done a sort of a ghost-like fold, which I've been looking for ghosts and seen a few different ones, and then I just experimented myself, but it's very likely to be the same, really. And then I realised it's very much like a fold, which looks like looking down on a fish, on a koi carp. So I don't know where this comes from. It's quite simple. So I hope you'll enjoy it. And the ghost is very appropriate for Halloween. You may not be feeling that way, so maybe it'll turn into a fish. It's really up to you. And actually I've just released, you might have noticed, I have just released Hook Norton. Is that where you are, or is that who's invented it? I'm curious now, Adrian, do tell. Curious. I've also released the kind of fold sort of, which I would normally release on a Saturday a little bit early. I've been here just thinking about Remembrance Day coming up, and so many people whose lives were lost, and thinking of people in the armed forces. Yeah. So the poppy is so beautiful. Please do go and make sure you get one. I always go and make sure I get one. So it's not in any way to substitute for that, but just wanting to make a little poppy, which could be an additional piece at home. It's just sort of modified money. Where I live. The beer. Sounds good. Sounds good to be cozy there. Wow, how amazing. So this is based on a traditional cornflower and just modified a little bit. But I really enjoyed making that, and I thought it was nice contemplation at home. And I thought actually if I just release it at the weekend, you've not got so long to get ready for that. So I thought I'll give a little bit more time for people to make poppies. Maybe it could be decoration or something you could put up at home, or maybe a card for someone who has lost someone. Yeah. So that's come out already. And we'll be folding that next Wednesday. So so up to you if yours is going to be a fish. I'm enjoying the fish now. So the ghost did seem really appropriate, but now I'm feeling a little less Halloweeny. But I very much try to think of things that could be appropriate to the time, and I think it's really nice to celebrate the times as they come and they change, and I think needing that feeling of change as well. So as always, grab yourself some paper, and I think actually for either of these you'd want to decorate them, so it's not quite just the purest origamis. You could do a little bit of artwork on there, but maybe that's something you can do later and then decide whether it's a fish or whether it's a ghost. Yes. Yes. Oh, that's a great idea, Marnie. Yeah, I think you could do something really nice. I'm looking at this and it feels quite uplifting. It almost looks as though it could be a kite as well, doesn't it? I can sort of imagine that in the sky too. Love looking down at fish. So beautiful. And I just happened to have some nice orange paper, so I just drew on that. So I'll show you from white paper. Oh, hi, Wendy. Welcome. Lovely to have you here. Yeah, I hope that Eric's feeling a bit better. He's not feeling so great, so he's been going to be making poppies for others, so that's really nice. So yeah, grab your paper and something to press on. There we go. And yeah, thank you, Penny. You're thinking of me, thinking about Christmas as well, festive times, lots of decorations to come. I did quite a big collection actually last year. And Nick Robinson very kindly shared a few folds there, which are really great. I love that little Father Christmas. So I'm going to take a piece and fold over. I'm just going to make it A5. Start with. Yeah, I think this year maybe quite a few stars as well. I also picked up a little tiny tree, which does involve some cutting. There we go, a little nick there, which I picked up in Tokyo Airport. There was a little cafe that was giving away some origami, which I thought was very cool. And I picked up this tiny little tree, which I thought was really sweet. And so it'll be that fold around Christmas too. Yeah, I think Eric actually had a booster and has felt a little bit unwell afterwards. I have to say I felt a bit fluey, but absolutely worth it. Not in any way to say it's not. I guess it charges up your immune system, and it will also depend on how you've been feeling. And Eric's still very glad that he's had it, but I think just recovering as well. So going to take a corner. It really varies for people, but it's your immune system. So, but much better than a real virus. There we go. So taking the corner, bending it down, and we're going to get rid of the rectangle. There we go. We're used to his usual chatter, aren't we? So he's really not feeling himself. Hopefully he's resting up. Yeah, good strong fold. I will pass on your best wishes. Getting rid of that rectangle. Hopefully a good bit of rest will sort it out. There we go. Yeah, I did feel a little bit fluey after a booster, but I was extremely glad. And it just, for me, it was a couple of days feeling slightly off course. But yeah, so worth avoiding this virus. Oh dear. Particularly hard as well for people working in the hospitals. It's just been relentless, and this kind of unknown. Things haven't got back to normal because they can't at the moment. So the more people get vaccinated, the more that we're taking care of each other, and it's really a way of helping each other. So right, so hopefully you've got a square with a diagonal. Let's do the other diagonal as well. There we go. Yeah, I fancy decorating. I think this will be a fish for me as well today. There we go. So I've done both diagonals. Do shout if you need me to repeat anything, slow down, etc., etc. Okay, so I've done all the diagonals, and I'm going to now take the outside and bring it to the middle. And it doesn't matter which corner. Oh, it's getting dark so early. I thank goodness for the some fairy lights. I'm afraid I had them all year round. Which is the coloured side? Oh, very good question. I think that this is on the white on the inside, and that this would be the colour. Yes. So there should be white inside, colour at the moment on the back. So you'd be revealing this colour. Sorry, I actually read. It's strange, isn't it? I rarely use origami paper because I presume that people don't have it. So that's really why. And then the opposite corner folding to the middle. Very good question, Penny. Oh, you're recovering from your flu jab. Wow, excellent, Stephen. Oh, yeah. Fingers crossed. Actually, I've had my flu jab as well. I've been so lucky. actually from my surgery, because I'm very mildly asthmatic. Only with treatment I'm absolutely fine, but before that I used to get a bit quite wheezy and I just cough so much so easily. So as someone who's asthmatic, then I was offered the flu jab really early on. Yes, please. They had some spare, so I instantly say yes to it all, and just it's so good to avoid illness. So I hope that went well for you, Stephen. Well worth getting. I think a lot of people have been getting all sorts of viruses. Some of them may well be flu as well. Right, so it will be white on the inside, these little bits of colour. So now we're going to turn it to the back, or it'll be the colourful side, and we're going to take this side and bring it to the middle line, and we're just going to let it sort of flip around that little bit that's sticking. I find it very hard to put into words. Everybody else is very good at using the technical language, but I also find the technical language a little bit tricky. So it's taking the outside and just letting the triangle there flip around, lining up along that vertical line and squashing down like so. Oh, Wendy, I hope it went well. Gosh, well, that's great that you got it done. Are you seeing better already, or is it just a kind of having to let it all rest out? I hope it went smoothly for you. And then the other side, flipping it around. Yes, wishing everyone good recovery. But it's good that these are all preventative things or ways of helping us rather than illness. Yeah. So it should be looking like this. I'm sure there's many lovely things you could do with this. Does it make you want to play with this? Yeah. So first thing to do is taking this top bit and then just filling it into this gap. Yeah, as I said, I'm not sure who has really come up with this one, and I just ended up playing, and yeah, I don't think it's too difficult a one. There we go, pushing it in there. At the moment, it would be very much a square head. You don't want that. So taking a corner and just bringing it in a bit just to round off the top. And I suppose it depends a tiny bit whether you're making a ghost or a fish. I don't know. So I folded it there. When you look round, it still looks a bit too angular. So to be honest, I would take the little point and fold it back. I can imagine, honey, that you're going to do something lovely with your fish, your gorgeous painting. I wonder what you could do with this. Yeah. And actually, when we went to Brighton, we went to apparently the oldest sea life centre. It was amazing. It was so cool. We went first thing on a Monday morning, and so we're ahead of everybody else. Half term would otherwise be way too busy, keen to keep away really from people. So it was great. It was really nice and quiet. Here we are, we're on the back now. Right, so we're getting there, but we need to sort of narrow it up at the bottom and then twist it a little bit. Next to it, we'll do this lovely poppy, which I hope could be a really nice one to do. We've got all sorts of things and all sorts of exciting things coming up. I'm not going to give it away though. Right. So our next step is we're just going to lift up these arms, keep those out of the way. Want to narrow this up. So if we take the bottom and if you sort of bring it in a bit, really, just folding it in a bit, I guess from the bottom there. Oh, nice. Yes. Yeah, it's really good sea life centre. It's so fun. Such a beautiful building as well. Like this amazing kind of vault. Just amazing. So I took the outside and brought it in. And then I'm going to do the same with the other one. We're almost there. Pretty simple fold. And again, bringing it in and folding it down. There we go. And then you should, oh, they are lovely. And those good dads. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Nature can do things differently. They are beautiful seahorses. Right, so turning it round, it's looking a bit more like the sort of fish. Oh, yeah, if it doesn't look right, I'm just tucking in a bit more. There we go. All right, and I think I just want to sort of twist it a little bit, really. So taking the bottom and twisting it sideways, it feels then as if it's got a little bit more of a movement, the tail or the bottom of the ghost, if it's going to be that. And you might want to just give that a little bit more shape there. And you might want to sort of bend it down a bit again to give it a bit more shape. I think I'm gonna do a little fish thing here. Why not? So if you do have some pens, maybe you might like to do this as well. Imagine looking down on a nice pool. Maybe we can think of warmer times to come. It's quite fun to do a bit of decoration as well sometimes, because that way it'll be really unique. I can get lost in colouring as well. Something to start with, isn't it? Make a nice little decoration somewhere or other. Completely zoning out here. Hope you are too. It's important we do things where we get really absorbed. There we are. The tail's quite small. So we did a goldfish, didn't we, recently? Anyway, this is looking down on the fish. How's yours looking? So the ghost is gone and it's become a fish. It's quite a wide face. Maybe you could again just fold things until you feel it looks right. A little bit of shaping. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. What do you reckon? How's it gone for you? Has that worked? Were you able to follow that? Well, next week we'll do a remembrance poppy. Been quite interesting to read about that. There's two Flanders fields that made it that strong association of flowers growing out of the disruption and representing people. So I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. I like how it stands up above its fins. Oh, yes, you're right. Yes, it does. Yeah, you're right. It really sort of glides along. I hadn't thought about that. I'm sure you could do a nice sort of display, couldn't you? Because you could sort of stick down there and have as if it's a little bowl that you're looking in. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed that, Stephen. It feels quite Japanese, doesn't it, this fish? A goldfish, of course, came from China. So it's almost always like that. It's actually, China's such a huge country, such a long history, and so many inventions and shared across the world. I've done 2 decorating for fish, then ghost. Depends how you feel. Yeah, I think Halloween's past, doesn't it? It's just great at the time, and then you realise on to new things, on to fish, and who knows what. So, wishing you a good rest of your week. It's gone so dark. Can you see how dark it is? My lights are looking lovely and twinkly, though, as a result. I hope you can put on maybe little candles, little lights, little ways of feeling bright when it's making sure that you get out. I think at the moment in the UK, anyway, if you get out in the mornings, get some light when you can, because by afternoon it's really going. Yeah. Glad you enjoyed it, Money. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be back again next Wednesday and really till the end of the year, until it gets close to Christmas, and then we should all take a break again. But that's not for a few months, is it? Thank you, honey. Bye. Bye-bye. Oh, I haven't. Oh, I bet it's good. My God, the Foss is amazing. Yeah, I've tended to go for simpler folds because I figure most people are not going to be such sophisticated folders, myself included. But I would love to see if there's any way to share, Wendy, on there's the Facebook group, isn't there? Join the Fold Origami to Beat Boredom. Yeah, would love to see that. Thank you. Look after yourselves. Bye bye. Bye bye. See you soon.